Hey guys, it is about 1 a.m., April 11th, and I have not made a video in a little while. I've actually been really busy snowboarding a ton the last week or two, but I want to go over where I left off in the chart with you last time, what's kind of happened since then, some lines of interest that I'm watching, and also a trade I'm currently in. So where we left off, we were trading in this triangle, and I was telling you guys that if we broke this triangle down, especially through where we had this joined support on both these trend lines, if we would have broke below that, I had a momentum short I was going to add into. But instead, we did actually close above and retest this triangle as old resistance became new support. These triangles can break to the upside, and that's why when we're playing something like a momentum short, we wait for confirmations. We didn't just assume this was going to break down. We ended up closing above, and we got that move to the upside. If I go to the 1 hour, we can see that we made another bit of a similar triangle, but it did actually break down, and it did do exactly that. It happened to hit, there was this green line of support mixed with the potential support of that triangle and broke right where the two meet. I'll show you where that green line comes from on the 4 hour. That's kind of the uptrend that we've started since we found our local bottom. And now what happened after we dumped out of that triangle, I'm gonna draw just a little bit of a downtrend line that I was watching. So here we had the start of our dump up here, and I'm just going to go to where we kind of continued our dump. So we have our touch points along here, we have our touch point where we dumped again. Now guys, what I was looking at is this did look like a bit of a bear flag, but after it broke down, it found support very fast, and it found support at an area that I was interested in putting any potential plays in. And when we did have our dump, the bears never did really seize the opportunity I was hoping they would, and being we had a green candle close along a daily trend line of mine, I entered along here at 68.05, and then we did actually end up breaking this downtrend line that I had made. So pretty much immediately I was happy with that trade. Looked like the kind of trade that was going to be successful. And I'll show you where these purple lines came from. They are kind of daily trend lines. I'll go on the 4 hour just to make it a little more clear. These would be a much similar downtrend line as the one I just showed you, the yellow one on the 15, except these are on the 4 hour. So I start my trend line here with another touch here, and then here is where I made two different lines. I made one from the top of this wick and one from more so the candle bodies, and carried out those lines. The one that carried out past the candle bodies actually touched this point here, making it pretty significant. And we just tested it again after that dump, and that's where we found that support, and that's what actually made me go long there. So now the thing we have to watch is we have this other second purple line a little higher, and that's what we're struggling with in resistance right now. If I go to the 15-minute chart, you can see right now we are really struggling with that second purple line. We found support on the first one, we're finding resistance on the second one. If we happen to close above and get a retest of this, I would not be surprised to see the bottom of that 1 hour descending triangle act as new resistance. Another thing that I'm kind of watching here is we might potentially have a bit of a triangle here. So if we take our measured move from our breakout point, we would be looking at a target of just over $7,100 if that was to play out fully. I'm not convinced that's not really a picture perfect triangle, but it could still play out. Another thing to look for would be the continuation of this downtrend line. I mean, this measured move isn't perfect, but it kind of gets towards that ballpark. But I'd be interested in taking profits in my long. For one, if we break down out of this potential kind of sketchy triangle here, if we break down to just below 6,900, I am going to close out half my position, and then the other half, the stop loss, is updated to break even, so I can't lose on this trade anymore. I will consider adding to a long if I happen to still be awake and we do our little bounce here. But we're going to have to watch for resistance, guys. For one, right where we are right here, we're going to have to watch for resistance on this line, and if we break that, also this wedge line, the 4-hour wedge that we broke. I would not be surprised at all to see us break below this, retest this, and then try some sort of a bottom along the first purple line, but we're going to have to see how it plays out because this could all change as the charts develop. But those are just kind of a few levels of interest for me personally. I would not be surprised at all if in the next few minutes this actually does drop and trigger some of my profit taking, if not all of it. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. But anyways, guys, that's just kind of what I've been looking at the charts right now. It's been a while since I made a video, so I thought I'd spit one out here quick before I go to bed. I'm just going to draw a trend line like so to watch. That's basically testing support right now of that potential line, so let's see if that does anything for us. Anyways, guys, if you appreciate this content, if you could just give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you like about these videos, what you don't like, what you're looking at versus what I'm looking at, anything like that. Let me know what you want to see in these videos. I try to keep a realistic view on the market. I'm neither bullish nor bearish. I don't really care which way this market goes. I'll trade it whichever way. It seems like it's got some potential profits for me. So, oh yeah, just watch right here. We might end up taking some profits. But anyways, guys, that's where I'm going to leave off for today. That's where I'm looking at. And we will catch you guys soon. Have a good night.